Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. As anybody's been to the meetings know, I'm pretty much on the island by myself, so with not really no support anywhere. So I need a volunteer that will write this on this paper for me. To have somebody volunteer for that. Is you gonna do it? Okay. Okay, we're gonna start off with, let's see, this is a Brookridge Community Properties Owner profit and loss statement, and that's from, it's gonna be from 2011 through 2020, okay? Okay, at the end of 2020, we were told that there was gonna be overage over $100,000. Okay, Vince, if you would, this figure right here is showing over, it'd be $88,101.07. That's for 2020.
2020?
Yeah.
What's it showing? To the good?
Yeah, to the good for $88,101.07. Okay. 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 This piece of paper right here, I've got right here, it shows the reserve funding plan. This is every year what's supposed to be put in it every year. Like this is on from 2017 to 2047. Last year, at 2020, we were supposed to put $438.90 in there. Okay, this paper.
This was like a carryover, right?
Well, that's what we're supposed to put in the reserve. So put that out separate right there.
How much was that?
$438,900. Okay, I'm going back to the profit and loss statement now. Okay, this line is line 9200-112. It says reserves transferred to reserves expenses. You go out here to 2020, that figure, it shows they only sent over there was $395,010. So they were short how much? 40-some thousand, right? 43,000. Okay, this is a check.
So reserve, the 2020 reserve funding. It's supposed to be 438, right?
Yep.
900, right?
Yeah.
Was that 43,000, right?
Yes.
43,890?
Yes.
And they were short that.
That's right. Okay, I paid this, but this is a copy of the check, even though they shrunk it at the bank here, but it shows $43,890.90, and that was dated 6/11/2021.
No, how much? 43?
43,890. Okay, and that shows that there's only about 42,000 left of the overage that they said they had was $48,000. Okay, line number. Okay, line number 5320 is it's the bad debt line. Okay, if you look on up there at 5321 is bad debt, then 5322-4 is bad BCR debt, and those figures run over the last 10 years. One of those figures have averaged about 21,000, because over 10 years, it's 218,685. So you average it out and say, okay, that's 20,000. Okay, on my paper, right here, it's going to show that it's zeros. So if you put 21,000 there, which is about the average for 10 years, put 21,000, minus that off at 43,000. What's that give you?
21,000 even?
Yeah.
$22,890.
Okay, the 23,890, as we've done said before, that figure can be because of money spent on the IT people the first of the year, could be on Peyton Boys, which is the second attorney, which is probably about 4 to 5,000, and the other. But I'll do it simple for you. I'll make it simpler. Because in the budget, just to make it simple, the budget has bingo in it for this year. Okay, when we passed the budget, back in November last year. Okay, the bingo was $27,000 a year. So where does that put us? How much are we in the hole?
Well,
Okay, and then
so if you can take, we're supposed to carry over 88 grand, right?
right,
All right, so take 88,101. What about the cents minus 43,890, right?
mm-hmm,
43,890 minus 22,800, right?
right,
Minus 27. $88,101 minus 43,890 equals 4211 minus 22,890 equals 321 minus 27,000. That's a total of negative 5,679.
okay, and we know bingo is starting back up, what is it, October 18th? Is that right?
Yeah.
We might get 2.5 months worth of money, so you can say that's a wash. That'll basically be the $5,000, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the reason we're telling you this, the reason I'm showing you this is because I got asked earlier this week, well, if they was 88,000 over last year, then why would we have to raise the assessments $3? Well, we know the minimum wage is going up, but we would not even have to be doing this. If those figures were in here, say if they had done calculated if they had already transferred the money over last year to fully fund the reserves, and the bad debt on here had been on this piece of paper, and if they were still over 88,000, then you would not have to increase the assessment, because you would have the money to make that $3 up. So that's why we're explaining that here, because they want to question whether they, when we had that meeting on Wednesday night, the motion was to send the budget to the residents, and they voted no. So that means they don't want you to have a say-so in the budget. They don't want you to say whether you want to vote for the increase or not. They just want to stop it there. Also, these sessions are not like gripe sessions. They were not intended to be that way. They were really just intended to be like answer questions that people had. But as you've seen over time, it's like, what I will show you is, I won't say it unless I got it on paper, or, or I got proof that I can show it. So it's not like I'm saying something that ain't true. And that's the reason for this. Most time on Tuesday morning, Tuesday and Wednesday night, usually you get a mixed message. And, I will say that this is about the budget. I found out that about the audit. To give you an update on audit, we found a file this week that was in the computers. When it was transferred over, it had a different heading, or it had a different heading before that, that did not give the, for the fixed assets and how much was supposed to be depreciated off each item. We found it under a different file. So Lynn sent it to the auditors yesterday, and she's gonna see if she can work with that without getting Masters involved, because Masters is not giving us nothing. As we done found out, we offered them $600 to pay for it, and they still wouldn't do it, even agree to that. So we don't know if that's gonna work it or not, but I hope it does, so we can have that paper. And the main reason I want the audit is to see exactly where we're at, the same way y'all do. We want to see exactly where we're at money-wise. We want to see if there's any carryover. We want to see how much they say the bad debt's gonna be. I'm wanting to see, other things when it comes to the budget, but, basically, it's come up. Oh, I will tell y'all that I know the rumors going around here about the ballot box. I will admit that we have bought a ballot box. So the envelope is going to stay, the big envelope is going to stay with the small one up until the very end. We bought what looks like a mailbox. It's the ballot box that, like, they put the ballots in for the national election. So it's got the slot in the top. And it's like you'll see it looks like a post office box. And we do got a plan for it. It'll be here at the clubhouse, and it'll be in front of, toward Vince's office with a camera shining on it. Is that what we figured out, Vince, this morning?
Yep.
Yep. So that's where it's gonna be at. So, we're trying to eliminate as many hands touching it as possible. I will take, let's see, the truck is here. I can tell you all that. It's not got code enforcement on the side of it yet. It don't have anything on it. As far as when it does get the stickers on it, it'll say code enforcement. And as soon as they come in for that, I'm gonna have Greg take the car and take the wrap or whatever you call it off of it, and just be code enforcement. I'll also be taking off the door up there at the administration building. That shield will come off. Let's see. It's kind of hard for me to remember everything, because, like I said, I'm doing this all by myself. So, what you'll see is you'll hear a bunch of different things from, like, some of the board members and things like this. But I will tell you that, I'm doing my best to straighten things out, and kind of like, what are you gonna call it, like governor from the center? Is that what we said? What'd you say the other day, Vince?
What's that?
Like, take it from the middle? You know, when we talk about doing things here, around here, you said take it from the middle.
I can't remember.
So, yeah, well, I'm out. So if anybody's got any question about anything else, that's what's happening right now. I think Vince has an update tell us the update on the tennis courts out there.
Okay, on the tennis courts, we're still waiting on them to be resurfaced. That's looking at sometime around probably later, mid-November into December. Same thing with the roof. We're looking at the end of October, hopefully sooner, into November. And I just went over to purchase the paint. We're gonna start painting the fence tomorrow. So that'll all be nice and black on all four sides. So looking forward. And then bingo starts, well, we got the social dance starting up next week, next Saturday, week from Saturday. And then bingo starts after that with the line dance social starting the week after the social dance. So we're looking pretty good for whether we'll all be ready for everything. And plus the entertainments will be starting up the first Monday and the second Thursday. So hopefully our committee will be nice to us on the first. So that's about it.
Yeah, the goal is going to be, if it keeps going down trend, let's see what it is today.
15.5.
Okay. Okay, as well, the site I'm looking at, the CDC site, and it shows that 7-day metrics. It shows 814 cases for the county. Says positivity rate is 16.7. It's showing no deaths, of course, but then it says percent of eligible population fully vaccinated is 52.6, and new hospitalization is 97. Well, that trend has come down because originally, when you put the mask mandate in, that positivity rate was about 22%. It was 21 point something. So it's gone down at least about 5% since we started this mandate here. And I think by the time they made it, it's going to be somewhere around 12, between 12 and 10. And so I think we can go back to just wearing them, my opinion, just go back to wearing the mask.
When was yours updated, Jerry? Yesterday?
This says September the 23rd. Yeah. So it's got right here on the calendar, it says September 23rd.
Yeah, mine says 15.5%.
Okay, so we know it's right there at
Yeah.
16 roughly.
Yeah.
So my opinion is we'll go back to the voluntary mask mandate is what I'm gonna push for on the first of the month. Is that correct, Thomas? That's when we're gonna meet first month, okay? Let's see, what else you need to know is where we've started the new resident packets at the administrative building. They'll be done at 10 o'clock and 2:30. And everything. I think we're supposed to have one or two yesterday and they didn't show up. But these town hall meetings are for I'll answer questions that people ask me during the week, but also I'll take questions here. So if anybody's got a question they'd like to ask, feel free to do it. You want to take the microphone out there? Has anybody got a question they want to ask? Okay, we got one.
You just identify who you are, that way they know on YouTube who's speaking.
Can I take this off? Or? Sandy Combs, Unit 2. Jerry, I came up with an idea. I was talking to Joan last night about the speeding. Where we live on Nickelodeon, you're going up Country Club almost to the hill. Is there a way that we can put stop signs not at four-way stops, but because we at Nickelodeon, if people don't realize that it's there's not a cross street, like the street's over here. But if we put a stop sign like at Nickelodeon, so when they're flying 40 miles an hour up that hill, they got to stop. So that's going to slow them down. Why?
No, it would have to, because that's a continuation of road, and it'd probably have to be where at a four-way stop if we tried that, or really, I don't see how you could do that, because it's not built that way. So I'd say no, we couldn't do that for there.
Well, other than throwing out spikes across the road before somebody gets killed, what possibly, I'm sorry, I'm only joking. What possibility, well, I understand that, but
Well, I have turned over the speeding issue to, somebody said, well, why don't you, before we spend a lot of money on this, let's get, somebody to look at this. And so instead of spending money to hire somebody to do a traffic study, we've put it to the advisory committee that they look at the speeding issue, and they go down through the years and see what's been tried, what's not been tried. If, you can narrow the roads down and like Brookridge Boulevard down in one lane, see if it'll work, but they gonna get data like what's being tried at other communities like right in Hernando County, because that's what you want to go by Hernando County guidelines.
thank you.
Jude Vicoli. I'm not familiar with your street, so if you could answer for me, are you talking about you have a hill, so when they come up fast, they have no visibility? Maybe we could look into getting a sign that says slow, limited visibility. I do see those on the public roads.
Okay.
That might be something that might apply.
There's also signs that says blind person in area. So it's already alerting you.
And we all know, I mean, the reality is we all know there's going to be certain people that are just going to not care. But if we can throw a sign up here and there and maybe catch a person and make them remember to slow down, that's a good thing. I mean, I live on Brookridge, so I mean, I see it.
Yeah, they live right off the country.
So it's and I know there are certain streets that are more prone than others. Generally the long straight ones. There's plenty of times I'm driving home because I'm way down there on Brookridge, and I'm doing my limit, and people are just whizzing past me on the right. I know there's going to be people who do it. I just wouldn't. When you asked that, and it was agreed that wasn't appropriate for your location, I just wanted to present that as an option.
Thank you. All right, anybody else got a question anywhere? Yeah.
Hello. And I thought maybe at the crest of that hill, or wherever it be throughout the park, that we have paint. We can paint slow, not we, but a professional painter could paint slow across the entire road. I mean, again,
Yeah.
it's cost effective. Will it change anything? I don't know. Will it alert someone? And I'll tell you, 90% of the time, this morning I jumped out in the middle of the road. Some lady was flying. And you know what I call it now? I call it the new 20, because they're not going 20. That's what I call it. It's supposed to be funny. But anyway, and I actually jumped out and I slowed her. I go, whoa, I put my hands up, and I think she just actually wasn't paying attention. I just think that she wasn't intentionally speeding. But I think if we have those, they call them something, there's a specific word they call them, things that will redirect your attention to the road. And I think those avenues is what we need to pursue.
Okay. Now, I will tell you that anything that we talk about here, I know that seems like there's a small amount here, but I will say I've gone back and looked at this, and YouTube, people on YouTube has been probably viewed, some of these town hall meetings have been viewed by over over 200 times. I think I looked at one the other week that was been viewed over 180 times. So I do know that this is getting out to people. So I know that the committee members, speeding wise, they are looking at this because I know they won't come to no meetings because of COVID, but I do know they're listening to this, so they can take that one and look at that. We got any more questions about anything? Yeah, right here.
Hey, I'm a new resident, 6 months now,
Okay.
and I know there's been a lot of discussion about the security system, and I honestly have not been following it closely enough to be honest. My name is still not on that damn tablet at the front gate. It's been 6 months. And I'm sorry, I've got my barcode, and my guests, when they come in, I have to tell them the name of the woman who used to own the house for them to get through security. And it's been 6 months. Now, I know we've got problems syncing them up, but I've done IT. There has got to be a way for someone to physically go in there and update that tablet for a specific item. You know, if you've got someone like me, I've complained at the gate, I don't know how many times.
Have you gone to the office?
I have gone to the office and spoken to Vivian, and she said, oh, the system doesn't update. Well, that's not my problem,
That sure is not, that's not your problem. Okay.
you know?
What is the address you live at now?
15595 Brookridge on the boulevard. I mean, for the first couple of months, I'm like, okay, fine, it takes a while for things to update, but it's 6 months now.
Okay, I'll make that a priority and go back and check that one.
I
Get back to
appreciate it.
in there. All right, anybody else got a question? Anybody over here to my right?
I know.
Okay, let's see. As you know, we've redrawn some lines out in the parking lot out here. Next couple of weeks, you'll see, well, probably more than a couple of weeks. I think next month, you'll see Billy putting down, painting no SUVs. It'll be just like golf cart only in the front out here. So they're going, also let you know that there is, if you need to use a computer and you don't have one to do some search on the internet, there is a blank one down at the administrative office when you come right in the door there. It's where the books were for the vendors. The books are still there, but it's sitting in the corner right there, and it's at that desk, so you can look things up or get reviews and that kind of thing. That's something that I put in place that you know, that was not there before, but anyway, that's something new for the residents. And let's see what else I'm thinking about what we've done here. What day are they gonna start on the roof? I don't, you didn't say, did you?
What's that?
Are they gonna start on the roof the last of this month, last in October?
Middle, August, October 15th. Bingo.
Okay. Let's see. Trying to think of what all else is going on. Right now we're in the budget season, of course, but in the roof and all. But like I said, the main reason we brought that paper out is to show people what the budget would be if they wouldn't have to do that. So I will say that I found out that they're trying to get like other people to run for office. So certain ones can be president next year, and instead of me, which is fine if they do that. But there's a lot of people who don't want that, but I don't want to go back the same way it was before. And you'll know that when I mean that about going back the same way as before, to change the culture of this place. Like before, like, I'll keep going back to this profit and loss statement. But as I mentioned before, you know, 10 years worth of they've been short. you can say 7 out of 10 years, and you can say it's gonna be closed last year, so you're gonna say, 8 out of 10 years, they've been short, but this thing has a shortage of $405,000, 211. So I would say if you wanna vote for one of those people that have been on the board before to run the place, you're going back to this thing where they're going to, like Rob Peter to pay Paul's, what I call it. They use January's assessments to pay November and December's bills. And, everything. So if, let's see, what else have I got? The computers, have been updated. Been updated and got new ones for the office, and new ones up here right. And you got the one that's been scrubbed down there. It's got just internet on at the office. There's supposed to be one in the library. But that's where we're at there. Let's see what else we got going on. The Toyota's here. It's at the office. I don't know if that tractor's came in yet or not. It's not, tractor's not here yet, that Billy ordered. Somebody asked me about the metal ballot box. I'll say it cost under $1,000 to get this solid metal. It's been welded and everything, so I think it weighs about 80 some pounds, for that. And let's see, trying to think, can't think of any more plans we got to do anything, but, as far as buying stuff goes or anything else, but I'll be glad to answer any more questions that we've got. And if, question back here in the back too. Well, he's coming with the microphone.
As far as the roof goes, will they be closing the pool at some point during the?
No, it's all set up to everything will stay open.
Thank you, okay.
Yep, everything will stay open.
Well,
Except for like.
certain times of a morning, maybe one morning here, one morning there, one afternoon there, and all depends on where they're at in the roof and what's going on that area. That's when it would be closed off. It's only for the residents' protection. But we're not closing the pool for weeks on, months or nothing.
That's correct.
Hey, Jerry, did you get a chance to clarify my question last at the town hall in regards to the 10 equal payments into the reserve fund?
Okay.
Because I heard an underroar that was just an SOP, but I remember reading it in the front of the reserve funding book manual also. And if that's the case, we only have 2 more months payments on that this year, which would be September and October?
Oh, I'm glad you asked me that question. It reminded me of something I was going to check out, and I checked it out. Okay, remember I said that we were going to check and see if we were short or over. And what I went and did was, like I took whatever the assessments are for the rest of the year, it has to be paid in from now to in December. I took it and I added it to the bank, what's in the bank right now. Then I took off the 2 months worth of reserves got to be paid. And then I took off what estimated utilities and all that were. And I estimated what was going to be, that was what income we had going out. And then it come down to where we were going to be like, we've got basically one account that's got like $80-some thousand in. And I was going to say, was we going to have to use that account or not? Or was it going to make a difference? And I was told that the big items we got to pay for November and December, one of them I think was property tax. And then the other one was what we had to pay on insurance. And the insurance come out to where, if you notice it in the budget, think it was around 65,000 for the budget for liability insurance, but we probably paid like close to 20,000 of it already for the year, so I'm thinking that's gonna be somewhere around $40,000, 45. It's gonna come out, well, it come out to where we was probably gonna have left over, my guess is around $40,000 left over till January's assessments came in. And that was gonna cover everything. I think when I looked at it before, it was, when we calculated up a couple months back, it was probably, we're going to be close. I think, as far as the cutting spending goes, we found a ways to cut some corners here and there, but, so we don't have to use all that $80,000 that was in a bank account, Capital City, is where it's at. But, yeah, it's supposed to be 10 equals payments. I think it says it here on this piece of paper right here, as a matter of fact. Well, I can tell you how I know it, it's right here. Okay, I remember the check that Rich wrote in February, he said it was for $233,000. See if I can find it right here.